Hey everybody, it is May and we are out in the garden. It is a nice kind of sunny day. There's a lot of clouds in the sky, but nevertheless it's sunny and it's warm out. Let's do a garden tour. You guys haven't seen this guy for about a month. It's about the middle of the month, so let's get this done. Let's get rolling. Come join me. Well, first off, we got strawberries that need to be planted. Let's start off with my little miniature herb garden I got growing here. I'm gonna try this new this year. We're gonna try to do some different things in the garden. I got some oregano here. Well, one oregano. I had some other little guys that perished. Look at that canna growing up nice and neat there. And then you can see I got some garden sage, some rosemary, some lovage, and some cilantro. And I also do have growing nice and neat right here. I got some lavender. Hopefully that'll come up. All right, next thing we'll go to is our peach tree. I'm telling you what, guys, look at these. We got a fair amount of peaches on here this year. Hopefully we'll get some peaches. I am a little concerned about these yellow leaves that just kind of tend to fall off. Not sure what's going on with it. I'll have to figure that out. All right, next up on the list is my pepper plants. Look how good those peppers are growing. Yes, I did have to go buy some peppers because my peppers did not all make it like they should have. So I do have things like this Anaheim here that's doing pretty well. I need to probably do a little bit of pruning on these guys, which will be good. Over here next we have a blueberry. As you can see, got some blossoms on that blueberry. And check out that comfrey blossoming out right there, guys. Isn't that nice? Keep on going. This is where I'm going to put my squash plants this year, I think. I do have my overwintered peppers. They are looking so-so. Not sure if they like this cool weather or what, but hopefully they come out of it. This guy right here is definitely looking a little bit worn, but we'll see. Hey, and look what we have here, guys. Oh, I love my strawberries. All right, next over here, you can see we have an apple tree. This is my Honeycrisp apple. It is looking good. I did have some flowers on there. I haven't checked for any of the blooms on it. I'm sure I'll get one or two off of there this year. I usually do. And then panning over here, we have the potato bed. All these potatoes in these grow bags. I need to up pot some of these a little bit, or mound up some of these a little bit. But they look like they're doing pretty good. Next up, we got Denali Daisy right here. She's looking fantastic. Maybe she'll get some blooms this year. And then this is the bed that I had planted the cabbages in. I got one cabbage, I think, right here that needs to be harvested. Another one back there that needs to be harvested. Maybe we'll harvest them this weekend. I do have a bunch of carrots in here. My Amish onions are looking like they're doing pretty well. And the chamomile is doing very, very well. I got all kinds of volunteer chamomile. I need to get a lot of this stuff pulled out, and I'm going to give away some of it. Oh, I love the comfrey plant. Look at that. Got some ants on there. So you'll notice I got quite a few ants in my garden this year. I'm going to do a couple things to take care of it. But along the lines here, we got a couple broccoli plants. You can see right there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this whole bed is lined with onions. And we're going to have a ton of onions, as you can see. I did plant in this area here. I got some cucumbers and some melons planted all along here. I got a volunteer sunflower that came up, and we start going into the tomatoes. We have all kinds of different tomatoes. That one right there. That guy right there is a purple Cherokee. These next 3 or 4 are Sans Marizanos. Looks like we got one red sausage here that didn't make it. We'll have to replace it. I got plenty to replace. And then we got some German pinks. And then got another German pink. And then we come up on some more chamomile, guys. And I got a ton of different plants in here. I believe these guys right here are gonna be daisies. They're gonna be coming up. And you can see my grapes are doing a lot better this year. I got these, this side is definitely sprawling out. Hopefully this little guy down here will produce or sprawl out a little bit more this year. You can see the Chamberson back here in the back. He's doing pretty good as well. Skip over to this other bed. More onions. I'm gonna be onion rich this year. This guy right here is gonna come down this weekend. It's blocking too much of my sun from the onions. And we go over here. We have 2 contenders right here. Yes, can you read those tags right there? What does that say? What does that say? Big Zach. That's my 2 contenders. I got planted pretty close to each other, but that's okay. Chives are seeding out, which is always so beautiful. Got another Big Zach right here. Got a Mrs. Maxwell's Big Italian, the ones that won me last year. Those are fantastic tomatoes, by the way, everybody. You guys should check those out. I got a couple potato plants coming up here that I had that came up, then they died off, and now they're coming up again. So we're just gonna let that little bunch there grow, and we'll see what happens. I got some Saucy Lady tomatoes. Going right there. And we move on. We got hops right here. I need to get the trellis made up for those guys. And we got a wacky bunch of asparagus growing here. And we got more carrots in this bed here. Alongside of it, we have our Brussels sprouts and some onions in there. And I've been getting asked about these guys right here. You can see them. These are the cold-hearted Kiwi. I got 1, 2 of them. They're growing fantastic. Right next to the chives and the chamomile. Matter of fact, this guy needs to be retrained so it can grow up. This guy needs to be retrained so it can grow up and out. Got another one right here amongst this chamomile. This chamomile is probably just gonna have to go. I got plenty of chamomile to sacrifice. And then we got the last one right there, which is growing fantastically. And then we got some walking onions. Look how big those are, folks. Those are tall. And we got more onions spread around here. Down over here, I got some potatoes. Lots of potatoes. Potatoes everywhere. Blackberries are flowering out. The elderberry is definitely flowering out. We'll walk through here. And I'll show you, I got some, this one's Rebel Starfighter Prime, probably another Rebel Starfighter Prime. I really need to clean out some of these walking onions and some of this riffraff so my tomatoes start growing a little bit better. But I got plenty of tomatoes in there. And then I got all kinds of these daisies and whatnot growing in here. So I'll have plenty of flowers. Got another canna right there. I love those cannas. They really attract the hummingbirds. And then in here we do have some potatoes that we've been growing. If you zoom in, we hold still long enough, you see we got some pollinators in there. Isn't that lovely? And we got the neglected rhubarb over here. We need to take that and trim it up, do some things with it. This whole bed right here needs a bunch of onions cut out of it. I got weekend chores to do, everybody. You see all the way down here. We're ready to do some comfrey cutting. All right, let's move back in this bed back here. Elephant garlic. Not doing as near as well as the hardneck garlics here. I believe these are all music varieties. But look at that. Look at that thickness on that guy. Those guys are doing fantastic. Over here we do have more onions. These are the onions I planted from seed. Got weeds in there. We need to go around and weed this weekend too. And we got some beans growing in here. There's a lot of green beans growing in here. So things are looking good in here. We do need to take care of a lot of these plants that are in here. Several of them need to be trimmed, cut back, taken out. For example, I got too much chamomile, and we need to go through and harvest some radishes and whatnot. Now this area right over here, I got to be very careful. I saw a snake in here the other day. Whew, I am not big on snakes. Ugh. All right, everybody, let's check out over here. We got our pawpaw tree. It's starting to grow a little bit more. It's about 4 or 5 feet tall. So we need to get a little bit, another one here so we can get this guy essentially pollinated with another one. So I'm gonna have to look into that. Along here we do have strawberries. Got lots of flowers in there. If you look, we do have some strawberries coming on. Look at all those strawberries in there. We need to do some harvesting one of these days here pretty soon, I bet. Got the Dogo crabapple. She's taken off. And right over here is where we're going to plant the rest of the strawberries. We need to get to that, but we're going to fill this bed in so we don't have weeds, and it's going to look a little bit more like this bed over here. Over here we do have our peach tree. Still suffering a little bit from that rust stuff. We do have a ton of peaches on here though. Holy cow. And that's just right there is a mimosa tree. I know those things are invasive, but they sure do like the hummingbirds and the pollinators. All right, guys, as you guys can see, the garden is progressing very, very nicely. We have a lot of things going on, a lot of work that needs to be done. Hopefully I'll get to it this weekend, clean things up, get things mulched, get things looking nice and neat. And maybe in June, when I give you that garden tour, you'll see an immaculate garden. Yeah, right. But if you guys want to see that, if that happens, click that subscribe button. You'll see a lot of tips, how-tos, tutorials here. You'll see a lot of canning videos this year. I promise you that. We'll just do as much as we can on how to show you guys how I do things. Click that subscribe button, click that like button, leave me a comment down below. How is your garden looking? Are you guys anywhere near the shape I'm in? I bet those guys down south are already facing some wicked heat, so things probably aren't looking as nice and neat as what they should be. But we should be in good shape for a while here. So cheers everybody, and God bless.